Sunday at Unity San Francisco. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Morning, good morning. Can we show our band some love? Michael Grossman, Damon Hope, Andrew Higgins. Good morning, everybody. Whew, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Just starting to feel a little like fall here in the San Francisco Bay Area this morning. Got to pull out my long sleeves. So I'm Reverend Deanne Morency. For those who don't know who I am, I'm the associate minister here, and it is my joy to be with you all this morning here at Unity San Francisco. So at Unity San Francisco, we believe and know that the truth of who we are is our divine self, and that self is guiding us, supporting our smaller understanding, that it is present and available and accessible through us and as us in every moment. And we know and believe that we can activate our divinity consciously, awakening ourselves to the truth of who we are and to the truth of what the whole world is. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time here, if you come regularly, if you're dropping in after having been away for a while, Nancy, it's lovely to have you with us this morning. We here at Unity San Francisco like to start our services with a quieting. So I'm going to invite you now to literally get rid of whatever's on your lap. Right? Allow your heart to open up. I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise and to encircle this beautiful community, which also extends and includes those of us who are watching through live stream, in this field of prayer. And I'm going to invite our own Misa Malone to come on up. And she's going to bless us with her light, with our opening chant. So I invite you to let these words wash over you and truly allow yourself to be here now.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. reigning peace over it all. I am alive. I am light. I am light. You are light. You are light. We are light. We are light. We are light. We are
And as we breathe in this awareness that we are light, allowing anything that is not like that to just dissolve away into the nothingness. That we are rooted, anchored, placing our attention upon the very truth of our light, of our love, of our grace, of our beauty, of our harmony, of our creativity, of our love. And we open our hearts, we open our beingness even more fully to this truth, allowing ourselves to be here right now, to be the light that we are right now, to be the love that we are right now. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. I don't know about you, but I feel much better. So it's been 5 years since Reverend Ken stepped in here at Unity San Francisco. It's kind of amazing. It's 5 years. And the transformation and the growth that we have seen here, the deepening in consciousness is so powerful. And it arose, what we are living now arose out of the foundational pieces that we laid as a community 5 years ago. And it began with a appreciative inquiry and discovering and revealing who we actually are, what our vision is, what our mission is, why are we here, why do we come to gather together, whether we're here personally, whether we're here remotely, there is something that is calling us towards each other. And so the vision statement that has just held us together and deepened us so powerfully is up here on the PowerPoint. We are a vibrant spiritual community honoring the divine presence in all, radiating the unity message through loving service. So I would love for all of us to take a breath and to say that with me, just from that very core of who we are. Let's anchor this as the truth of who we are here at Unity San Francisco. Together? Vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all, and radiating the unity message through loving service. And so it is. Oh, we have so much going on. We are a vibrant spiritual community. We have so much going on here. We have started Wednesday evening services. While they're not being live streamed yet, it's in the works, so be patient out there. And it's a midweek pick-me-up. And so this week is going to be the Spiritual Salon with Reverend Ken. It's an opportunity to engage in spiritual questions, to come into sacred dialogue. So please join us Wednesday at 7 p.m. And for those of you who didn't notice as you were walking in, and you can do this online as well, if you go to our website, we are having a Unity fundraiser. We had 2 tickets donated by Reverend Sonia Milton and Hal Milton, and to Miss Saigon on October 31st. It's the matinee. It's 2 orchestra seats. We are doing the drawing today. So if you want to get in on this fabulous opportunity to see this show, I hear it's phenomenal. I hear it's better than the original London production that people have seen and commented on, and that the quality and caliber of the performances is truly on par with Broadway. It's a phenomenal touring company. So the drawing is going to be today. You can get one raffle ticket for $10. Come on, folks, $10. Right? And you can get 6 raffle tickets for $50. If you want to do it online, please, you can go and do it on our website, and I will be checking to see if anybody has bought more raffle tickets. The drawing is going to be right at the end of service today. Okay? You can see Alan Klein and Katie if you're interested in getting a raffle ticket today before we do the drawing. And we have our next big fundraiser. So every year, we have some sort of a fundraiser, a party, a celebration. It's where we all get to come together. We get to let loose. We get to have a good time. We get to make money for Unity San Francisco. And we also get to connect and be present with each other. We have fabulous auction items this year. We have vacation rentals. We have timeshares. We have another Byron Katie retreat. We have retreats from Spirit Rock. I mean, we really have some wonderful, wonderful auction items. So if you have not bought your Jamboree ticket yet, please do so, okay? This is one of the ways that we get to show up and have fun while we come together at Unity San Francisco. And it's a big piece of our end-of-year budgeting process, right? It's a big piece of how we know that we are healthy and vibrant and prosperous as a community is through this particular fundraiser, from what we raise through ticket sales and what we raise through the auction itself. So tickets are $60 early bird. There are still some $30 tickets available. So you can still get those $30 tickets as well. You can find all the information you need on our website. You can click through. You can also do this today after service with Katie. She'd be happy. She'd be happy to take your credit card information. Oh, and it's now time for our spiritual connection card. So in your bulletin, there is a tear out, and for those of you who are live streaming with us, you'll notice that there's a button that says connection card. So if you click on it, you'll be able to participate as if you were here in the room with us. So if you tear it off, please fill out the front right now. This is the connection part. So if you have a change in address, if you realize that we don't have your email address or we don't have your phone number, this is how we stay connected with you. Please let us know if you are a first-time guest, how you heard about us, if you're a regular attending member. On the back, there are spiritual practices and a place for you to be able to submit a prayer request or communicate with Reverend Ken Daigle, who's our senior minister here, or with myself. So it's a way that we stay connected. We're going to do the back of the card here in the room at the end of, after the talk. And for those of you who are live streaming, you have a separate button to be able to do spiritual practices. And if there are any first-time guests, thank you for coming to celebrate with us this morning. We're so grateful that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We do have a gift for you. It's right there in the front lobby. Katie will be happy to point it out to you. So welcome. We're glad that you're here to celebrate and share with us on this Sunday. And now, I would like to invite everyone to rise as we're willing and able. I'm going to call Misa back up here on stage for our community song, Down in My Soul.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul.
weren't awake before, I'm sure you are now. Happy Sunday, everybody. I invite you to greet each other with a handshake or a hug. Everybody, and welcome everybody back on live stream. If you're just joining us on the web, I invite you to fill out your connection card and to sit back and relax and enjoy the service. For those of you here in the room with us, if you didn't give a chance to say hi to everybody, we're going to have a great hospitality hour after. And also we have my class today. Today's the last day to join First Steps, which is the prosperity course, the abundance course that I've created as part of the Absolute Abundance series. And we had a really powerful group that met last week. And we have a couple people who are joining us today, and some people who have taken the course before are coming back in for a booster shot, as they're calling it. So if you've taken the course before and you want to come and be part of that circle, that's great. Drop in with us today. 1 o'clock here in the sanctuary, and it's the last day to join the class officially. Runs for 5 more weeks. So see you at 1 o'clock right back here. And now it's time for the absolute word. So I'm going to invite Carol up to do the absolute word with us.
Good morning. It is now time for the absolute word. A time to let these words of truth become part of your morning reflection, your morning meditation, or prayer. The absolute word, as written by Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, is an affirmation of the divine truth that is always present. It is an opportunity to anchor our awareness to know that everything is in divine order. I invite you to take a deep breath and to pause in the silence, to close your eyes if you wish. I invite you to let these words become your words. Prosperity. I use divine ideas for manifesting my prosperity. Divine ideas demonstrate the principle of abundance. Divine ideas are like seeds planted in my heart, mind, my consciousness. When I nurture and tend them, they grow. I use them to produce manifestations of prosperity in my life. I might be surprised at some of the ideas that arise into my awareness. At first, I might not see how I could possibly use them. As I focus on these ideas, I embrace their unlimited possibilities while disempowering any limiting beliefs that might arise into my awareness. My supportive personality works with divine ideas. In and of themselves, divine ideas do nothing. I make the choice for prosperity. Open my mind to divine ideas and use them to guide myself to my next steps and my possibilities. I use divine ideas to manifest my prosperity, and together, I use divine ideas to manifest my prosperity.
You will
choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress you will make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't have to know right now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Christopher, good one, everyone. Thank you, Christopher. It's great to have you back with me. I know you've been here all summer. I haven't. Hi, everybody. Welcome to everybody who's live streaming with us, and welcome to everybody in the room. When I left on sabbatical, we had a plan. Yeah, that. And a plan that when it got back, we would celebrate my 5 years here at Unity San Francisco. Well, those plans went out the window quickly as Joshua was born, and Joshua's here with us now, so, woo! And so when Deanne mentioned it, when she was talking about our vision statement and what we've created, it really got me thinking, and as I look around the room that people sat here in this space before I became minister, and all the faces of people who have come since, and the community and the actual literal physical things that we have built together has been truly astonishing. And those of you who are watching live with us right now or will watch this later, the reach of our community has shifted. Over 500 people have watched our live stream now. 500, right? And so who we're speaking to and how we're speaking is gonna shift. That's the thing about manifestation. You're different after you manifest. The reaction, the reality of your world shifts. And so how do we learn to be and move and have our being in this, right? In this actual here and now. In that moment of understanding that everything is possible. So my question to you all is, what has been your year of manifestation, right? So this is what we've done as a community. What is yours? What has shown up for you in this year? What has shifted in your life? What are the physical components that are constituting your year of manifestation? Because we know words have power, right? You call it out and it happens. So I plan to manifest in this year. I planned to have a baby in this year. Didn't exactly work out like I planned, and that's for later in the talk. We'll talk about what to do when that happens. And it does happen. So like I said, where are we when it shifts? So I want to try a little experiment with you here, a little way of being with you. All right, so instead of doing the meditation after, I thought we'd do a part of it right now. So Michael's going to tinkle, and I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. And as Christopher just sang for us, you don't have to know. Meditation's not about knowing. So just take a breath. And do an internal smile for the grace that is this moment. For those of you at home, I really invite you to let the chair hold you. Like the people are here letting these magnificent chairs hold them. To let the floor sustain you. To let the sounds in the room and outside the room, the crying baby, the traffic on the street, the hum of the fans, be part of your meditation. Because it all is anyway. When we cease fighting what is, we get to live in the bliss of what is. In this moment, in this breath, you have everything you need. As you take one more deep breath, I invite you to journey from your head those long 18 inches down to your heart. And feel your breath now connecting to your heart space. That place that knows exactly who you are. You are life itself. You are love. You are powerful. As you breathe now into your heart, I ask you just to become aware of its bliss, its pain, its longing. There's something within you longing for expression, for manifestation, longing to know who and what you are. as you sit here in the silence, ask yourself, what is my heart's desire? What is it that I truly wish for to see manifest in the world and in my life? If nothing comes, don't worry. You don't have to know. Sit with the question. What is the longing of my heart? What would fulfill my heart's desire? And as something comes to you, I invite you to take out your bulletin and turn it over to the back where the notes page is and write down, what is the longing of your heart? What is it that you really wish for in this life? You take a pen, and when you put it down on paper, you can make it a tangible, actionable item. Something that doesn't shift with your mind's attention. And as you come back to this room, I invite you, as Michael continues to play, just to anchor that. What is the longing for your heart? And as we come back into the room, as you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. We're going to do a couple different meditations in this morning's practice. So this is just the first that we will keep going deeper in. But I have some questions for you now. So manifestation, as we've talked about before, is based on the law of attraction and what I call the unity trinity: mind, idea, and manifestation. So that all things exist in mind, capital M mind. All things exist in God. And as the scripture teaches us, we live and move and have our being in that Christ, that mind, that Buddha, that divine soup, right? An idea is when something in that wholeness separates itself out. And so we have the idea of a chair. Well, what you're sitting on today at home or here, is just one iteration of a chair. There are infinite versions of chair. As we've known, we've sat in some that are great and some that are not so good, right? Some that really don't hold you up, some that really make you go right to sleep. So there's all kinds of possibilities in there. And manifestation is when we take that idea, the idea of chair, and actually physically make it. So it seems like that would be a duality. So we have an idea of chair, and then we have the actual chair. We have the idea of God and the physical. But as we've spoken about many times, we are spiritual beings. We are part of all that there is, and yet we're having this physical experience. So manifestation is in the physical realm. It is just one isolated version of the infinite idea that is Cherie. The infinite idea that is Rebecca, right? The infinite idea that is any one of you sitting at home has come to this time and place to be fully seen and known. You have come here to be the best you can be, and to shift the experience on the planet by your very presence, right? by your very presence. What Deanne talked about last week, you're playing small doesn't serve the world. You are here to make a difference. So what is it that you are longing for in your heart, in your heart's desire, that would fulfill you here on this planet so that you're more present to be that shining example, to be the light like Misa talked about? So I'm asking, really, Deanne's got the microphone, who would like to share what it is that they're really here to do and be? So one of the things, as you're getting up your courage to add your voice into this, that we understand is that we co-create. We co-create our experience with the divine. Here in our human form, we are working with the divine idea, and we are co-creating the world we live in. So take a look around at your life. That's the world you've created. Ooh. Sometimes that's good. These two like to look at each other. That's how many years married? 38 years married, and they looked at each other smiling. Woo! Right? That's the world you create. You co-create in the infinite realm of possibility. So what is it that is your heart's desire? Who'd like to share with us? Okay. Wait for microphone, because we want to make sure everybody can hear you. So speak directly into the mic for the people that are not in the room as well.
I'm going to share because mine's real simple. To love and be loved.
Okay. So what does that look like for you, Juanita?
It means that I go into the world with an open heart, with kindness and love and patience, and I attract those that also have those same qualities.
Mm-hmm. So if people show up in your life that don't have those qualities, that people that show up to you not lovingly?
Well, I'll give an example. Last week I went to a homeless shelter and did ministry with somebody there, and I ran the meditation, and we talked about what it is that makes us happy in life, and a lot of them had nothing they could think of that made them happy. So to transform that so they see that happiness is always available, even in the worst situations.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Someone else? Ben.
Thank you. It's something that I hadn't thought about in a while, but when I first came here, Reverend Sonia helped me to realize that I was a conduit that for the Spirit, and that my music is my mission, to share that and to share the joy and the solace that it can bring to many, to be a conduit to be opened to not only share the music, but my life's experiences, who I am, how I deal with my world around me. Those are examples of the manifestation of the Holy Spirit in me. So as a conduit and as an example of the Holy Spirit, I go into the world and hopefully shine a light that others can see and want to know more about and follow.
Right. So the longing of your heart is to share your talent, your music, your music, right?
To continue to have that ability.
And does it matter if you get paid to do it or not?
No.
Okay.
No,
So listen
never.
to this for all of you who have a dream, right? That's something you want to be. When I lived in New York, at Unity of New York, it was always, I want to be an actor. I want to work as an actor. So do it. Go work as an actor. Go do what you're supposed to be doing. The pay will come later.
I'll tell you something. One of the greatest experiences of my whole entire career, and I've been doing it for like about 13 years, every other month, myself and a group of singers go to the Jewish Home for the Elderly. And we give them a show of about an hour and a half. And whether I'm working or not, whether I have a job or not, that gig will always be done, because that means more to me than any other performance that I could ever do, that makes money, that does anything to bring me fame or fortune, because those people really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, they really get it.
Right.
You know?
And so another way to link this into is that even if you think that what you've written down on that page, you want to open this up, doesn't have to be love or music ministry. It can be a tangible, physical thing you want, a new home, a new vehicle. Because underneath it lies something else. Underneath that desire lies something deeper. And it is about the fulfillment of your true purpose here on the planet. Your true purpose is not to be a banker. Your true purpose is not to be a minister. Your true purpose is not to be a parent, is not to be any job title. There is something deeper underneath it all, right? Who else wants to share before we move? I want to also point out to the people on live stream, you can fill out your connection card and there's a place for comments. If you fill out your heart's desire there, I promise to respond this week and we'll have a dialogue about it. Robert.
When I really get down to it, it's about being an inspiration. Being an inspiration to others, but also to myself. Really tapping into what is that. You know, once I've identified something to do, it's about dismantling all the beliefs and ideas that it's not possible.
Right.
And stepping into that next place. So it's almost beyond what I'm doing.
Right.
It's the process of going into the unknown and really just discovering what's possible.
Right. So to break through, even when you can't be inspired.
Yes.
Right? When you're in that place, you know your mission's to inspire, and you find yourself uninspirable, is where the rubber meets the road. So let me ask, who, when we were doing this process, didn't get a longing of your heart? Okay? Be honest. Come on. It's all right. All right, so we have only a couple in the room. So just close your eyes real quick. And if you're online or in the room and didn't raise your hand, that's all right. Just close your eyes real quick and think back to when you did. Think back to something that happened in the past that was really passionate desire of yours. And use that, because that kernel still exists. Can we have the microphone to Misa? Yeah. Right? Amazing, right in the right chord, too.
So, something that I'm finding in this year of manifestation, when we're talking about myself, there are many things that I want for my family. There's things that I want for my children. There's things that I want from my mother and my brother. But I was telling my husband, I am in a place where there's nothing that I need, which I don't want to cry. I never have been in this place before. Me personally, there's nothing that I need. I am enough. I have enough. And when looking at the longing of my heart would be to keep it.
Which is a full-time job.
Can I want to dwell in this place.
Yeah.
What is it? Abide in this space. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. This is my rock.
This is the bedrock. Let's
Yeah.
just lock this in. And it's been very interesting coming to this place because I come from excessive lack.
Yeah.
Emotional lack, material lack, spiritual lack. So to be in a place and a space where I can honestly say I don't need. There might be things I want, but need
Right.
anything is frightening as hell.
Oh, because what you know how to operate is on the need, constantly the searching.
Yeah.
So this, like I talked about, when we manifest, it's a new place. So how do we be in the manifestation? And that's a great question. And it brings us full circle to what Juanita shared about her work at a homeless shelter. And if you know anything about Maslow, you know the terminology hierarchy of needs. And when you don't have basic food and shelter, when you don't have warm clothing and protection from the elements, it's really hard to think about higher level spiritual questions like this. Because you don't know where your next meal's coming from or how you're going to protect yourself from the elements and from the physical dangers that exist in the world. So that kind of understanding that, okay, so when we have our basic needs met, we have extra to give. We then have the responsibility of being the ones that give to a larger thing, a larger place. But I'm going to step back one more question because we're going to circle back to that, Misa. I promise we'll get to it. And ask you as we go into meditation again to look at what gets in the way of your manifesting your heart's desire. Right? We all have them. The shiny object, the peer pressure, our mother's voice, your father's voice saying you'll never make a living doing that, your spouse, your own fear that you're not good enough. You fill in the blank. Look at your life. Look at your desires. Look at your journey through this incarnation. And as you take another deep breath, what gets in the way of you manifesting what you know is yours to do and be? What gets in the way of your full and glorious expression? What gets in the way of God? As you sit with that question, just let it answer itself. What gets in the way of being whom I'm meant to be? What gets in the way of my happiness? And as you come back to this room, I invite you again to write it down. Because as you write it down, and I'm going to do it with you once again, in some shorthand, right? I just had to put one word down, and I know how easily I get distracted or pulled off course, how my attention gets diverted, how I forget that I am in charge of me. I can't be in charge of anyone else, not my children, not you, not anything that happens in the world, but me, I get to be in charge of. How do I show up? So remind yourself, what's that thing or things that pull you off your mission and pull you off your purpose? And write it down so you have it. Those of you at home, write it down and send it to me so we can talk about it. And as you come back to the room, I'd like to know, and I'll start this time by sharing as Deanne brings the microphone around again. You know, the thing that pulls me off is the news. It totally pulls me off center. It totally pulls me off my purpose. I start worrying about this and that and this and that and what's going to happen, and I'm projecting and I'm blaming and I'm not where I want to be. And what I have to realize, and I get to realize in this moment, is it is designed to scare me. It is designed to scare me and engage me, and they are masters at it. So when I wrote it down just now, I saw the clear correlation that that's what's taking me from whom I'm here to be. What's taking you from who you're here to be? Susan first, and then Rock. And speak right into the mic so they hear you. Thanks.
To be perfect, and not that I don't want to make a mistake.
Oh, wow. Anyone else identify with that? Right? Thank you for giving voice to that. It's like we're scared to take action because it's not going to be good enough. Our flaws will show. That's real. Thank you. When you do it anyway, what happens when you take action anyway?
I have to roll with the punches. It's a learning experience. It's like, oh, well, that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted to, but I learned a little bit about myself. So.
Yeah, yeah. I have a question for everybody. Does anything ever work out exactly like you want it to? Has anyone had that experience? Okay, just checking, because I would really like to meet you if it has, and rock.
I get in my way.
Say it again.
I get in my way.
What does that mean, I get in my way?
I knowingly sometimes, and sometimes not knowingly, I sabotage it. Because I think it becomes
Right.
more than I can handle.
All right, so sabotage.
Yeah.
Right, so it gets scary, and you somehow consciously or unconsciously sabotage.
Not scary, more overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Okay, that's a better word, right?
Yes.
That's what it is for
yeah.
you. It's
Not
too much.
Scary, no.
Yeah.
Scary, no. I'm over that part.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
but overwhelming. Yeah.
And my greatest wish was to almost start a epidemic, a peace epidemic, you know?
Ah.
And I'll be more than happy to be the virus.
Right. Wouldn't it be great if peace could go viral, right? A peace meditation, a peace meme go viral rather than the hate and the fear that goes viral,
Yeah,
right?
so that we don't have to worry about the news.
Right,
you know?
exactly, that shift, that understanding, right?
Yeah.
That they can't do anything to us that we don't do to ourselves,
Yeah.
right in here and right in here.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. What else gets in your way? Cherie, right next to you.
My fear of putting myself out there, which is low self-esteem. When someone asks me what I do, I get tongue-tied. I can't tell them what I do, and it's my mission.
Yeah. So, interesting, right?
Interesting.
You can't tell people what you do.
Because once I'm doing it, I can talk very freely.
Right.
But interesting.
Yeah. Well, I identify, and I'm sure there's a few other people here who would also, and out there. So, self-compassion is the most powerful tool I have experienced. Right?
Sometimes I can do that.
Self-compassion. So celebrate the sometimes. Right? No one, like I just said, is 100%. No one actually works out exactly like we're supposed to. Celebrate the sometimes. Celebrate the sometimes. And there's one other thing that's missing in the longing of our heart. So you may notice on your connection card, if you turn it over today, in all of our spiritual practices are blank. They're blank for a purpose, right? For those of you at home, if you open and you click on spiritual practices, you'll also see it's blank, and you get to fill in a whole paragraph, right? And I'm asking you to fill in now with what you've written, your spiritual practice, right? It's to know the longing of your heart's desire, right? And then to consciously know what gets in the way of it, what gets in the way of your heart's desire. You never fill it out? Well, here's your opportunity. Wait, we have a blank for you, right? So that's why we put pen to paper or keystroke to the screen, that it lives not inside of our head, but actually out there where you can look at it and go, oh, I'm being foolish. So mine was, the longing of my heart is to be a powerful force for moral leadership. Right? For moral leadership. And I think that why churches are in decline and why that more people aren't coming and streaming these kind of messages and talks is because the church ministers have abandoned their moral leadership, standing up and saying how to treat other people, how to see other people, how to interact in the world. And instead, as a society, we look to our politicians to set our moral leadership, and they fail at it miserably across all sides of the aisle. Fail it miserably because what their job is to get elected. is to get elected and to make it to the next election, so they will do anything to keep power. And they betray the moral fibers that we, as clergy, are not standing up and espousing. How to treat other people, how to treat the homeless, how to treat immigrants, how to treat women, how to treat gay people, lesbians, transgender people, how to treat our brothers and sisters who are impoverished, how to treat those who are incarcerated for crimes that they committed, how to treat people who are different than us, who don't believe in a particular religion or believe really devoutly in a particular religion. How we stand up and be spiritual, moral, ethical is missing in our society. To talk about it and to talk about it in real terms. So my paying attention to who gets elected doesn't serve what I'm called here to be. And whatever your distraction is, doesn't serve what you're called to be and do. This is what's missing in our world. And I'm tired of looking for solutions where they are never, ever going to happen. And I want to look for solutions where they can. And I know that's inside of me, and I know it's inside of you. Right here and right now, we can be the difference in the world. As you fill out your spiritual practices and notice what yours to do, in the law of attraction slide that I showed you earlier, there's one thing that's missing in all these words: intention, focus, abundance, resonance, wealth, receiving. The word that's missing is giving. Right? Nowhere in that whole slide, I didn't make it, I found it, about the law of attraction, does it have the word giving. That when we sit in a place where we have everything, it is our duty to give. Right? It is then our whole responsibility, and the way to keep it, the way to keep what you have, is to give it away freely. It is not by hoarding it, because the second you start thinking that there's not enough, or I don't have enough time, or I'm worried I won't be able to keep it, that's the energy you're attracting. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose it. To stay in the flow, you have to give it away freely. For those of you who are 12-steppers like me, you know that's the slogan. The only way to keep it, how to keep your sobriety, is to give it away, which means to give it to someone else, is to share the story, is to share the journey, to share the experience. So the only way to keep your abundance, to keep your wealth, to keep your happiness, is to share it with others like Juanita did, is to share it with others like everyone here who does that kind of service. So our last meditation for today is giving. Right? What inspires you to give? What fulfills you about giving? When you give, what makes your heart sing? It might be a word, it might be a phrase. Take one more second to go back into your meditation, into that place of calmness and stillness. And imagine giving away. You fill in the blank. $10,000. $100,000. Your home to someone who needs it. Your heart to someone who needs love. What inspires you to give? Just one word. What makes your heart sing when you give? As we get ready for our time of giving and receiving here, I invite you once again to write down those words. And further, on your connection card on the back, there's a place for comments, prayer requests. I invite you to fill in a statement of why you give. Why you give here, why you give other places. It doesn't matter. But what is it that giving does for you. And own that statement. Don't be shy. Don't worry about it. But know in your own heart what it is that inspires you to stretch yourself, to share yourself. And once again, put it down on paper. I ask that you turn this in so that I can see it, that I know what inspires you to give, so that it helps us know what works, what doesn't, who you are, what you're about. But I also invite you to make sure that you have it for yourself, that you take it home with you and keep it somewhere that makes sense for you. As we get ready to come back into this room and to the rest of our service, I thank you for playing differently today, for experiencing differently. And we're going to go into our giving and receiving part of our service, although there's no difference. But we're going to do it as a spiritual practice with these connection cards, with your physical monetary gifts. So in the seat before you, there's a envelope for giving and receiving, and another chance to write it down. If you're online, there's a giving and receiving button that you can press, which takes you to our PayPal link. Invite you to do that now, and we thank you for doing that. And if you auto-tithe, there's a place to check that on your connection card, or these are in the seat in front of you also. Auto-tithing is an incredible way to help sustain us here, and we thank everyone who does it. It makes sure we have the resources we need on a monthly and weekly basis. So as we breathe one more time into this place, I'm going to do something different. We usually have an affirmation, but I'd like just a couple words from each of you of what inspires you to give. Just call out words. Joy inspires you to give. Love inspires you to give. Gratitude inspires me to give. People inspire me to give. Confidence, upbringing inspires me to give. Heritage inspires me to give. Faith inspires me to give. Children inspire me to give. Expansion inspires me to give. Making a difference inspires me to give. Helping others inspires me to give. If you haven't, right now, if you haven't said it out loud, echo it in your mind, in your heart right now. What inspires you to give? As our ushers come around and the baskets come around, knowing that you are giving consciously with the intention of receiving that which inspires you. As you give faith, you get faith. As you give love, you get love. As you make a difference is made in you. And for this time together, we are truly grateful, and all of us say, and so it is.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth the while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong." down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though that road may wander, it will lead me to you, and 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It may take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I will go the distance, I will search the world, I will face its harms, I don't care how far, 'cause I can go the distance till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms, till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms.
Christopher Goodwin and the band. I'm going to bring the kids up. Come on up here, Milan. Come on up.
We have a missing child. It's Christopher's son. Christopher, thank you. What you guys do today?
Want to show your monster?
What'd you do? What'd you build?
We made imaginary monsters, imaginary friends. There's like 2 or 3 out here.
Oh, cool. So you made these. Wow. Look at that. Cool. The things that get in our way. They made them so that they can talk to them and get them out of the way, right? Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So we have a blessing for our children. And George is downstairs with Christopher. We'll bless him from afar, and all of our children, grandchildren, children of the world. And it's you are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. Can we know that for them? You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is. So, we have our fundraising auction right now. Deanne, ready?
Yeah, okay, so last call, folks, last call. Katie, can you bring me up the basket? So anybody who wants to get a ticket, Rebecca's raising her hand. She wants to buy a ticket. Tyler, who's not working, can you bring that to me, please? Tyler, who is not working. All right, so these again, we'll wait for Rebecca's to get added in. These are the folks who have decided they would like the Miss Saigon tickets to orchestra. How many is she getting? 2? Yeah, give me the tickets now. How many are you getting? 6. Ooh, a competition. Anyone else want some? Oh, Tyler just bought 12. Woo! All right, let's get those 6 in here. Oh, and there's another. Takis wants to buy some. How many do you want, honey? Just 1. Takis. Can you write one for Takis, Alan? We got Takis is coming up here. Michael, can you give us a little music here? This is big. All right, anybody else? All right, Ken. Yeah, we need a neutral person. Who did not? Susan
Okay,
Ives.
Susan.
Okay, our treasurer. Perfect. Don't look, don't look. All right, and the winner of our raffle is Janice Jackson. Awesome. So Janice is
You
not
were
here
like-
today, but we are going to get her tickets. Awesome, everybody.
Thank
Fabulous.
you. Fabulous. Thank you.
Woo! So thank you to everyone who made the service possible. We love you all. We love you, love you, love you all. From live streaming to the band, to the people who are out, and the prayer chaplains, folks who are greeting. We couldn't be possible without your showing up and your willingness to just be of service. So thank you.
Right. So our prayer chaplains will be in the prayer chaplain corner. I invite them to stand and go over there if they'd like to now. So please pray with one of them after the service. If there's something that you'd like to anchor or something going on in your life that you would appreciate someone holding the high watch with you, I know I do. That's a great way to use our prayer chaplains. Again, reminders of what's happening here today is we have my First Steps class at 1 o'clock here in the sanctuary. Spiritual Salon, which I'm also leading this week, will be at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. And
then my class, The Great Work of Your Life, is still open. It's open for the entire time that I'm running the class. So if you want to drop in, come talk to me. There is a lot, there's the reading, we're moving through the book. There is exercises that we've been doing. It's really powerful. So if you want to join, there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby. Come talk to me and let me know. We'd love to have you.
great, fabulous. And what happened? That's in
interesting.
the wrong place. What happened to True Colors? So I'd like to invite you to stand as you're willing and able and join us in our closing song. So we have a slightly different ending to True Colors. If you weren't here with us last week, we changed some of the lyrics in the closing so that we incorporate seeing the true colors of who we are, right? Not just other people, but us. Roma, you want to come sing True Colors with us? No? Okay.
She's like, no. I want to run around.
I want to run. Whenever we're ready. We don't have Misa. All right, we're you with bad eyes. Don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all. The darkness inside you makes you feel so small. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
Show me a smile and don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. And this world makes you crazy and you taking all you can take. You call me up because you know I'll be there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
And now it's time for our transformational affirmations. I'll say these statements once and I invite you to affirm them after me. I co-create my abundant life. I release negative beliefs. I consciously choose love. I am grateful.
And I see my true colors shining through. I see your true colors.
So it is.